Awesome. So last one that we'll talk about on today's episode is Flipaclip. We were just in, I forget where that first one was from. I think Amsterdam, or is it the Netherlands?
Yeah.
It was the Netherlands, and then we were in Japan, and now we're back with a U.S. I guess digital agency called Kurtuldu. They're from the U.S. This one scored 7.5. What you'll find is a lot of the top sites, a lot of the sites land somewhere in the 7s. If you see a site in the 8s, especially high 8s, like that means that the body of reviewers or the jury was very impressed by it. So we've seen a lot of 7s today. In other episodes, we'll pick up the higher ones. But so what's interesting here is the mobile score is really high. So they must have a really good mobile experience. 8.8 on mobile is very high. So we'll have to pull it up on mobile. Developer, everything else is in the 7s. So not much to report there. So we'll do the same test. This is kind of like the 5-second rule of like if I was to work with a company or, audit a site, what I want to figure out in the first 5 to 10 seconds is what they do and what the next step is, or what's my goal as a user. What do they want me to do? So let's give this a second to load. I think another heavy site. We're getting.
Yeah, that's the challenge. Is like some of the more creative stuff end up becoming really heavy. So then that affects usability, and it's the trade-off that you have to make as a designer. You want to do something creative for your portfolio and like just an interesting project to work on rather than another WordPress template. But the challenge is, okay, the site was black and now it's white. Okay, simple, intuitive, and fun. So there seems to be this like line drawing style illustration. Is it that just
I haven't done
itself?
Anything yet. It's like a video. The hero is basically a hero, and if you're listening, it's basically a large white page. It looks like the hamburger menu on the upper left. The company name Flipaclip looks like someone hand drew it, and then there's a download button in the upper right. But still unclear on what it is.
It says simple, intuitive, fun. As this line style illustration.
So at least they have the value prop. They're coming out strong with best animation app.
Okay.
And they're giving you a little bit of like what the experience looks like. And then they're telling you who it's for, beginners and pros. Again, more value prop. They're saying it's simple, intuitive, and fun.
That looks like a loop. Okay, well now they're going into showing.
Yeah, now we have social proof, lifetime installs 30 million, creative time on site is 500 million. What?
That could be because it took forever for the
organic social media views 1 billion. It seems awesome drawing tools.
1 billion one now.
I am not. I'm not a fan of like these long vertical scrolls. I know that it's a very common design trend, but like on mobile, I like it. I guess on desktop, I'm just not as much of a fan. Like you're just constantly scrolling down when you're just like, I don't know. I kind of want it to be a little bit more concise. Things that I like so far, I think it's very playful in terms of like what it is. I'm still kind of confused on like animation tool is so broad. I bet you there's like massive Flipaclip fans that are like, how do they not know what Flipaclip is? But I've never heard of this. Have you heard of this?
No, I mean, again, that could be, there is a bias there, but even so, if you're an animation student and you're learning, so your teacher goes, oh, there's this tool you need to check out for your project. If you were to come here, I mean, in a previous episode, we were talking about personas. If you you've heard of this app, someone's asked you to check it out. As a designer who's supposed to use a tool, do you not just want to see the tool in action? You want to see, is it easy to use, easy to learn, is it affordable? Is there a community that if I have problems I could ask questions? Are there tutorials so I can learn it and pick up stuff quickly? Is it reliable that it's been around long enough that if I create these files they'll be redundant because the tool will die and I won't be able to carry on using it? Like that's a big problem with design tools in the last 10 years is apps come and go very quickly, and it's that commitment to learn the new ones is always a tough one. It's like old school like Adobe stuff people will stick to because Adobe's been around for so long and there's that trustworthiness, where if a new tool comes along people are quite worried. So if I was I draw passively with like just for fun, but if I was wanting to get into animation, I'd want to see the tool first up as a thing, and this scroll hijacking of like, you know, taking you through the story. I don't know what value does this really offer? Like, you want to see the app in action. It's like you go to Figma's for homepage, and what do you see?
Yeah.
You see the app straight away, right? Or Dropbox, you just log in. Like, it's clear what the tool is. And the thing is, sometimes with these tool websites is they focus too much on creating a portfolio example rather than...
That's a really good summary. It feels really like cool, it does feel like a portfolio. Side, this now we're into like, I love this page. Like, I'm almost 75% down the page. I've been scrolling probably for a minute plus. Which is, this page has to be insane. Like, we should check out the performance on this because I bet you it's a very heavy page. But I love this. I think this page looks awesome. I love the gradient background. I think that you show the product features. It has a dark and light mode, and then it has a clear, like, personalize the app in 2 different color modes, customized accent colors. I love the way that this looks, but it took me a really long time to get here. I also think that see, now this is cool. I think this should be closer to the feature at the top because this is more of your set. I don't care about social proof. I think a lot of times companies put social proof up too high on a website. Again, I always recommend A/B testing where you put the layout of your homepage. But I personally think that it's better to know what separates your product or service from another company, make sure that that's up in front of, and focus on benefits versus features is like another tip that I always encourage.
Yeah, no, like what problem are you trying to solve? It's like when I was looking at design prototyping tools, like the one which I love using, which hasn't got that much love recently because I think it's one person develops for it, is a tool called Principle. And it's a great prototyping tool. The challenge is sharing it. So like InVision is great because you can share with a link. A Principle, you don't have that. But what Principle does have is like this ability to export as really high quality GIFs or videos that you record yourself at. And so that's like a selling proposition. So you kind of, I know it's so cliche, free boxes with free things, it does blah, blah, blah. But if your goal is to sell the app, but then on the flip side, like to counter what I've said, it's an animation app. The first thing you see is an animation probably created in the app. I get it. It makes sense. But it's just, I think you want to kind of show what it's capable of. But then maybe they have tested it with people. And again, I just feel all of the sites that we've seen so far, it was hard to tell what the main call to action is. Although, to be fair to this site, there was a big download button on the top right corner, which is probably the first thing people are going to do anyway. I just want to see the app. If you're not going to show me, I'm going to look for myself.
To summarize, I think creativity-wise, again, very high, very cool. Download button is in the upper right, fixed. Call to action button's clear of what they want users to do. The long scroll, the performance, I think is the usability here, I think is lacking. That's where that in my opinion is the biggest knock.
Could you try tapping on the hamburger menu? Because I want to see what they animate there. That could sell it for me.
Yeah,
hamburger menu, top left hand corner.
I'm just being a little slow to the draw.
See what happens. That's okay. So all right. Interesting. Did you see the icon animates from the cross to the?
Yeah, that's cool.
why they've got 2 lines.
There's like a lot of really cool subtle things that these designers are sharp. Like they're doing really cool. No detail was left unturned. So I think they did a really good job in terms of. I also love but I love the drop down.
When you
this
tap
is
the
like one of the
hamburger
cooler menu things I've seen. I don't know. Look at all the social that they're plugging too.
But like if you tap the hamburger menu, it basically drops down like almost a hero image. It says about support community and Flip School, I think it said. That shouldn't be behind a menu. That should just be the first thing you see. And then like you could say like so the link's on the left hand side really big, on the right hand side a screenshot of the actual app in action. So maybe someone just animating quickly. It's like, all right, you want to know how quickly it takes to animate this thing on this site? This is how I did it. And you just watch it. And that will say, right, here's the call to actions. There's a download. Here's how to use. This is what the interface looks like. Then you can do the scrolling and creative stuff at the end. But it's the persona, right? It feels like it's not been designed for someone to learn from. all the important things are hidden. And it's like when you go, it's like there's that XKCD cartoon of like university campus, all the things that you want to know in one circle, all the things that's on the website in another circle, and there's no overlap because it's like all I want to know is the address of the campus, the number of the course heads, and like, you know, reviews of the course. That's it. But everything on the site is like pictures of campus, the cafeteria, but nothing that you actually want as a user. And that's the problem with this website. Is all these websites we've looked at are beautiful, but where do I go next? I suppose Wax Poets did have
they were clear with their call to action. I mean, I think they I think like that was the only one that had the best. But it was very clear. They want you to pay for the subscription so you can get their type of content. They teased out 2 free articles so you get a taste of it. The Japanese one was just, I think, a really cool way to tell, you know, a story about a product. I don't think it functions well as a website, especially if you're trying to sell a product. I think it might be missing the mark. I had no idea what to do afterwards. And then the Flipaclip is, you know, they had a call to action that was clear, but the usability was a little. The scroll was way too much. The performance definitely was going to be impacted. So it took a long time to load, which could result in users bouncing before the page even loads.